10 old-school facts about popular boy bands. Kid groups practically managed the 1990s and mid-2000s. On stages all over the place, gatherings of youngsters warbled while doing synchronized dance steps, wearing all-white suits or long, emotional raincoats. There were some effective kid groups before the 90s blast and after the 2010s with the enormous notoriety of One Direction and recently the significantly more mainstream band BTS. This rundown is a return to the brilliant time of kid groups and their perky melodies. 10. The Ink Spots. In 1934, the Ink Spots were framed in Indianapolis. The band comprised of Hoppy Jones, Deke Watson, Jerry Daniels, and Charlie Fuqua, and would get one of the first supposed kid groups, despite the fact that the term was just settled in the last part of the 1980s. Their melody On the Off Chance That I Didn't Care turned into the 8th top-of-the-line single ever and sold more than 19 million duplicates. It never arrived at number 1 on the US pop charts in any case, floating at 2 for various weeks. 9. New Kids on the Block. NSYNC have sold in excess of 70 million records around the world, and the band is too referred to for their music as they are for having had Mark Wahlberg as a part in its initial days when it was called NSYNC. Wahlberg was 13 when he joined the gathering and left after a couple of months. The name NSYNC was taken from the name of the canine in the film, The Lost Boys. In 2010, NSYNC got together with the Backstreet Boys to shape a kid band supergroup called NKOTBSB. 8. Take That. Kick It probably won't be a name that anybody perceives today, however it was the first name of famous gathering Take That. Robbie Williams turned out to be important for the band after his mom reacted to an advert searching for individuals for another kid band. Take That appreciated gigantic accomplishment during the 90s, with by far most of their fan mail going to one part, Mark Owen. Unusually, Mark, an individual musician Howard once stalled out in the possession of a Goliath mechanical robot in front of an audience during an exhibition. Imprint was liberated, however Howard needed to sing the majority of their next tune while stuck. 7. East 17. The Christmas melody, Stay Another Day, had numerous East 17 fans going after the tissues after its delivery in 1994. The single turned into the Christmas number 1 of 1994 and was the band's just number 1 hit on the UK singles chart. What fans cannot deny is that East 17 actually exists with Terry Caldwell as the main unique part close by new part Robbie Craig who participated in 2014, and Joe Livermore. 6. Boyz II Men. Despite the fact that we've reached end of the rundown, Street, simply joking, we're not even most of the way yet. Boyz II Men was framed in 1988 and remains the best kid band on the US Hot 100 and Australian singles chart. The band has procured itself 4 Grammy Awards and they turned into the third craftsman after the Beatles and Elvis Presley, to supplant themselves at number 1 of the Billboard Hot 100. I'll Make Love to You was delivered on July 26, 1994 and wound up holding the main spot on the diagram for 14 weeks. 5. Backstreet Boys. In 1992, a lot of them not really acclaimed at this point youths all lived in one high-rise. They included AJ McLean, Britney Spears, Ryan Gosling, Christina Aguilera, and Justin Timberlake. Backstreet Boys occurred amazingly after their introduction collection hit the stores in 1996 and the kid band accomplished superstardom by 2000. They've sold in excess of 100 million records worldwide and procured themselves the title of top-rated kid band ever. They are likewise the main kid band to have their initial 10 collections arrive at the best 10 on the Billboard 200. The band is as yet performing today with shows arranged into 2021. 4. Boyzone. While Backstreet Boys were framed in 1993, Irish kid band Boyzone were likewise being shaped that very year. Boyzone was the brainchild of Louis Walsh. Their unique and most notable setup included Keith Duffy, Ronan Keating, Shane Lynch, Stephen Gately, and Mikey Graham. The Gathering made a rebound in 2007 subsequent to separating in 1999. Misfortune struck 2 years after the fact when Gately passed on during a vacation on Majorca. In the wake of praising their 25th commemoration in 2018, the band reported that it would be parting for acceptable in 2019. 3. NSYNC. There was much more to NSYNC than bubbly frontman Justin Timberlake. Other than the way that the band's name was shaped from the last letters of every one of the first individuals' names, The Gathering likewise sold 1 million duplicates of their No Strings Attached collection in one day and over 2.14 million duplicates in multi-week. Generally speaking, NSYNC has sold in excess of 70 million records. 2. Westlife. Kyan Egan, Mark Feehily, and Shane Fullan went to class together in Sligo, Ireland and had quite recently performed effectively in a school melodic creation of Greece when they chose to frame a band. They were referred to as Six as One and afterward I.O.U. Under the last name, the band of young men delivered a solitary call Together Girl Forever in Ireland in 1997, after which Fullan's mom reached Louis Walsh and requested that he sign The Gathering. Keating changed the band name to Westside, and they visited with Boyzone in 1998. Subsequent to changing their name once more, to Westlife, in 1999 the kid band delivered Swear It Is Again, which turned into the greatest-selling debut single ever in Ireland. Westlife proceeded to sell in excess of 55 million records and become the main band to have their initial 7 singles enter the UK outline at number 1. They sold out their Croke Park Stadium show shortly and generally speaking have sold 5 million show passes. 1. One Direction. The 7th period of British singing rivalry, The X Factor, delivered one of the greatest kid groups the world has ever observed. One Direction appreciated unmitigated prevalence somewhere in the range of 2010 and 2016, sold in excess of 70 million records and have won very nearly 200 honors including 7 American Music Awards. The most unusual reality about 1D maybe is that they conflicted with Donald Trump in the wake of declining to meet and snap a picture with his little girl in 2012. He at that point showed them out of his Trump Tower Inn, where they were living at the hour of their up-all-night visit. Trump even wouldn't permit the band to leave through the underground carport. Rather they needed to leave through the front ways to where crowds of fans were holding up outside.